Hi everyone. So this video is going to explain Xavier's core curriculum. Some schools refer to this as their general education requirements. Xavier's is fairly unique, especially at HBCUs. And so I want to talk a little bit about what it looks like here. The core curriculum is the part of your degree that is outside of your major. Most of you have already identified your major and you spend a lot of time studying in that particular discipline. Core curriculum focuses on other aspects of academia to expose you to a wide variety of knowledge and skills, ways of thinking, ways of understanding the world. So let's take a look and see what Xavier's core curriculum, which we call XCOR, looks like. All right, so this is a visual representation of our core curriculum. You'll understand the pyramid structure here shortly. Over on the side, you can see the basic breakdown of how your academic studies work. About 40 hours of your 120 or so hours of study here at Xavier will come from the core curriculum. You'll see here it basically breaks down into three distinct areas. First of all, we talk about the foundations area. This is 13 hours of study. Most, if not all of it, will be done during your freshman year. You're already taking 1, 2, or possibly even 3 of these classes. You may start to take some of these explorations classes during freshman year, but most of them will be taken during sophomore year and then probably a little bit into junior year as well. Again, depending on your major and the other classes, you have to take it when you need to take them. Explorations is 21 hours, and you can see this is really this idea of the liberal arts. You're taking something that deals with the human past, you're taking something that explores human behavior, you're taking something that investigates questions of faith and society, African American heritage and legacies, and so on. There's a lot of choice there. Within each of those sections, there's anywhere from probably 15 to 30 or so classes that you can choose from. It just depends on what's available and when you're able to take them. And then finally, after you've earned 60 hours of college credits, you're allowed to take your 2 engagement classes, Engaging Global Issues, which is XCOR 3010, and Engaging the Mission, which is XCOR 3020. These are classes that ask big questions and take a variety of different approaches to explore and answer those questions. They're really cool classes. They're a lot of fun to teach. I'm told they're a lot of fun to take as well. And then finally, for every major, you have a senior capstone, and depending on your major, that will take different forms. For English, our seniors put together a senior portfolio. In history, the seniors put together a senior thesis. In psychology, they do something different. In biology, they do something different, right? Sometimes it's a whole class. Sometimes it's a project. Sometimes it's just kind of culminating artifact that they create, right? Again, it depends on your major. So that's the overall structure of the core curriculum, right? And like I said, you work on it throughout your years at Xavier. All right, but we're going to focus on these Connecting Communities classes. Right? As a part of the foundations structure, right, you start out first semester freshman year with college experience. That's this class. And then for most of you, although for some of you, you may need to push it off until either summer or even fall semester of your sophomore year. But unless your advisor specifically recommends that, don't do it. You want to get this out of the way. So for most of you, during the spring semester of your freshman year, which is next spring, you'll take either XCOR 1011 or 1012. You only have to take one of those. Only one is required for the core curriculum. These classes explore questions of life in New Orleans or the history and mission of the university through a variety of different and really interesting topics. And so that's why I'm going to have you take a look at that list of those course descriptions, because each class is radically different. We have one class that looks at the history and evolution of hip-hop as political discourse. We have one class that looks at the history and significance of burial practices in the city of New Orleans. Right? We have one class that looks at the history and impact of Mardi Gras and Carnival in New Orleans. Right? They're all over the place. The idea behind these is that you should take a class that is of interest to you. There's nothing specifically connecting this class with your major. And nobody should say, hey, you're a X major, so you need to take this XCOR 1011 or 1012 class. Right? It's what interests you the most. And the idea here is to expose you to ways of thinking, academic skills, through interesting, engaging, and exciting topics. All right, so that's a real quick overview to Xavier's core curriculum, XCOR. But I hope it kind of helps you understand why it's important for you to really think about the kinds of classes you want to take. There's a lot of choice, student choice, built into this core curriculum, and I'll be honest with you, that did not used to exist. There used to be really very little choice for students. It was take this class, take this class, take this class, take this class, and that was it. And now it's, hey, take one of these 10 classes, take one of these 20 classes, take one of these 14 classes, right, within these specific topics. That's really exciting, I think, for you all. It should be something that you get really excited about. It should be something that really interests and engages you. And again, you should not feel any constraint to, I'm a pre-med major, so I have to take this class. That's what majors are for, and that's kind of what minors are for as well. That's how those work. The core curriculum, there should be a lot of flexibility and a lot of room for you to play and experience things that might not be directly connected to your major, your minor, your future career plans, whatever those may be, but just something that piques your interest. All right, thanks. Let me know if you got any questions.